I don't know when this will be out. I hope this comes out tonight. But fuck it. Okay. This will be written throughout the day, along with it being a MariTube 2 commentary. Right now, it's the 24th of September 2024, aka the last day I'm a teenager, in terms of government status anyway. If I'm being honest with you, I feel nothing. I've been waiting to be an adult since I was like a child, to be honest. And I know it's cliche to say you want to grow up, and then when you do, you want to be a kid again. Life was simple and you miss it. Now, that's not to say when I turn 18 tomorrow, my entire life will drastically change and I'll be bombarded with new responsibilities. But what is true is that as the world puts more weight on my back, I'll have to physically and mentally be strong enough to handle that, whether I like it or not. God forbid I ever end up like those 30 to 40-year-old people who just like live in their parents' house doing nothing but watching cartoons and ordering McDonald's all day. As I turn 18, I see myself as having 3 years left. Not to live, I don't think suicide is ever the answer, but to make it. To me in life, there's this weird Goldilocks zone where from around 19 to 25, that's where all the biggest names in the world either became rich and successful at that young age, or was on the come up to being one of the biggest influential people of all time. Now, obviously, that is a very small minority, and most of the time, unless they were extremely calculated, or probably just with luck, was stealing someone's idea and getting the credit nonetheless, they got to where they are via working smart or simply just cheating. I'm pretty sure damn near everyone has had that fantasy, that idea of like being rich and famous, even though, being honest, most of those people who are famous are probably depressed inside but have the smile to the public for their PR team. I don't really want that life, specifically. Sometime last year, I watched this interview from Trace 17 where beta rapper Jay-Z talked about people's life goals with the common goal being to become worldwide famous, to which he stated, "The goal is not to be successful and famous, that's not the goal. The goal is, if you have a specific God-given ability, is to live your life out through that." This really spoke to me, but mostly made me realize, wow, God gave me a lot of talent, I guess. I'm pretty sure I made a commentary on this quote. I'll try find it in the hundreds of commentaries I've already made, but yeah. Now I want to talk about how I see myself as a person and how it coincides with what I want to do in my life. Uh, Ever since I was 8 years old, I used this word to describe myself. There's two more words, but I'll get to those later. With them all connected to each other, but for now, let's just start with extraordinary, unusual, or remarkable, and in my case, both. This word perfectly describes me because all my life, the personality I had always made people gravitate to me, with me never realizing as a child and even until recently. Obviously, I act different to almost everyone depending on their personality and how I trust them, but overall, I am very bipolar. I'm not diagnosed, but this is how I describe it. I remember in 2022, I told one of my friends that I might have bipolar disorder, and he just responded with, "Oh, so that's why you're like that." with no in between, I'm either very angry, bitching, complaining, quiet, cool, calm, collected, all over the place when it comes to talking, to the point of where people just like get lost in my ramble. I'm frantic. I love banter. Annoying, like I'm annoying like an orange. Edgy due to watching Leafy is Here as a child. But at the end of the day, I care for the people around me, even if I don't show it enough. Due to how I was as a person, I guess throughout elementary, middle, and high school, everyone just had a full-on opinion on me, even if I didn't know them, which was weird. A core childhood memory of mine was when I stopped playing football, which in elementary, that was all boys did at the time. And when I told my main friend group that I didn't want to play, even though they all loved football and could have just left me or had me watch them play, no, they were all completely cool with it. And since that day, we all just did our own things and catched up with the others later on in class. And even though I didn't realize it at the time, that meant a lot to me, as I feel like in another universe, I would have just been left behind and just seen as weird for that. While in primary school, I was pretty much cool with the majority and were friends with them, like we were brothers. Like I'll never forget when we went to France on my birthday and we were all on bunk beds up late talking about games and stuff, along with the first one to fall asleep is gay shit. That's just good times. I miss them. I wonder what the doing. It's been 6 years since I last saw them, so yeah. Cycling was way different. I made a skill in 2021, and it shows how people perceive me, and it's the funniest shit ever. I can't show it; it'll ruin my fun. But yeah, basically, you either thought I was funny and nonsensical, chill and smart, or straight up annoying and want me dead. It was funny though because when I heard people talk about me, it'll feel like you're talking to two completely different people, and even the people who dislike me would always come back to say some shit. But thankfully, 14 to 60-year-old me would say the most disrespectful, insulting shit to anyone with no filter or setback. Sometimes just because I felt like it. That toxic, epic roast battle ass mouth I had died out after high school ended, and when I met this girl who, along with God, just took out so much negativity out of my soul. I can still go on a lifelong rant and shit like that, but it's just not as often. All of this to say, in my life or online, or whether it be older or younger people, people my age, um, whatever part of my personality I give to them, they like it and they find it entertaining enough to where they don't leave or merely get annoyed at me. Which leads me to the next word, narcissistic. Let me explain. I realized I was this when I was around 11, 12 years old, and being honest, I never saw it as a bad thing for me anyway. Um, the only two traits I don't have is manipulation. Trust me, people use me to create shit for them and then abandon me. I wouldn't do the same after going for that for like 3 years. And envy, as I love seeing friends and family achieve their goals. I think that having a high respect for yourself, believing you are or could be superior, and wanting to be admired can go two ways. One, you dream of being better than everyone, but only dream. Or two, you dream of being better than anyone by executing and showing them that you are the best. Oh, for the record, by the way, neither mindset neither mindset is good. Don't think like this. This mindset came to me from having a lot of toys and gifts as a child, creating my materialistic self, and being praised by my parents, teachers, friends, online people, and literally just random people. Ever since I was like 7, with me using that appreciation and praise to try to be a better me and become more talented in everything I care about. Speaking of which, talent. It's subjective, and if only seen the shitty weekly channel that I do, you wouldn't know what I create. But ever since I was a child, instead of just watching TV, like Total Drama Island, I always ask myself, how did they make this? How can I make this? And then 2 or 3 years later, I pirated Adobe Flash like every other geek did. This basically applies for how I got into animation, art, music, photography, video editing, graphic design, writing. I remember when I was 7 years old, I wanted to make an autobiography. With me getting better at each skill as each year was around. With my frantic personality, narcissistic mindset, and always being messaged and told that what I create is great, it all culminated into me thinking that I, a black kid born in East London, can be known by many one day. I don't even want to be famous slash rich necessarily. I just want to create something that millions will love and that thing will have my name behind it. Can I do that? I think anyone can if they try enough. Will I specifically make it? Who knows? But what I do know is that saying you'll do something doesn't mean anything. It's when you actually do it, be proud of it, and share it to whoever. To future me, 1, you're a bitch for real. And 2, great luck. And I say great because good is the enemy of great. Lock the fuck in. That's all to say.